Let's look at some applications that relate to business. Profit is the amount of money left over after all of the bills have been paid. Profit is generally represented by a capital P or sometimes by the number pi. Revenue is all the money that comes in. It's generally represented by a capital R. So let's look at example E about profit. A company makes designer ties. The weekly cost and revenue in dollars for producing and selling X number of ties are represented by the C of X function for cost and the R of X function for revenue. So they're wanting us to write a profit function that represents the weekly profit. Profit is basically the money you have at the end of the day. So if we're looking for a profit function, we start with the revenue, all of the money that comes in, and then we subtract all of the costs. In other words, all of the bills that we had to pay. That leaves us with all the money that we have left over, which is our profit. So in our case, our profit function P of X would be the revenue function 90x minus x squared minus the entire cost function 30x plus 50. Remember, when we're subtracting, we have to put everything in parentheses, so we'll remember to distribute that negative. After distributing the negative, if we combine like terms, we'll get a profit function of negative x squared plus 60x minus 50. So looking at example F, this one deals with revenue. A bookstore determines that the quantity of books, Q, they sell can be represented by the function Q equals negative 5/3 P plus 1,000, where P is the price per book in dollars. And remember previously we used a capital P for profit. We typically use a lowercase p for price. Now they're wanting us to write a function where the revenue is a function of just price. Well, when we consider revenue, we would have to take the price per item and multiply it by the number of items we're purchasing. So in this case, if the revenue in terms of price equals price times quantity, we don't want to use Q. Our input should be just P. Well, we know what our quantity represents in terms of P, so we can substitute. We would have P times that entire quantity function of negative 5/3 P plus 1,000, and then we would distribute. So the revenue function of P would be a negative 5/3 P squared plus 1,000 P.